So when we get on to actually designing the off-season program, phase one we call our strength program, right? This is our strength program. So this is from December to March, right? Now, this is going to be on the top of every slide. Encourage your athletes to play the sports they want to play. They're only kids once. No one in the history of football has played a season of basketball during the winter and got worse at football. It's not possible. Okay. Athletics in general are universal, right? The way that you throw a discus is the same way that you hit a baseball, and it activates the same muscle that you use when you're jumping to go up for a rebound. Okay. It's literally scientifically proven. It's the same muscle chain of command that activates when you're doing those three things. You are not going to get worse at football by playing a different sport. It's a fact. You're just not. Okay. We use this time, in addition to building strength, we use this time to teach football. So when we first came in, in 2020, we quickly realized that we did not know the game of football. We didn't understand even the rules, the basic rules of football, right? So we always use this time to go back to beginnings and teach our kids the rules every year. We call it Football 101. You come in and you'll actually spend some time in a classroom setting learning the rules for football. Okay. Number two, we take this time to teach fundamentals. Okay, so hand placement on blocks, footwork on different things, stances and starts, right? This is a great time to get kids that basic knowledge. We're also going to work on our core movements here, and the most important of those is squat. Squat, 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 squat. It is the primary essential athletic position. The squat motion is the primary essential athletic position, so we want to make sure that our core movements are incorporated. We're also going to use this time to install what we could, right? So our kids who are at lifting every day, usually at this phase, we get somewhere between 20 and 30 kids every day in our varsity program. We're installing plays. We're talking about whatever concept it is we want to install first. So here's a little bit of how it looks for us. So structure is 3 days a week. 1 day is squat with an offensive focus. 1 day is deadlift with a defensive focus, and 1 day is bench with the flexibility focus, right? And usually that bench day is sort of like a glamour workout. I saw something very interesting today. The bench press really, it's helpful in building strength for sure, but it's almost like a glamour lift. It's almost just like, oh, I could bench 225 a bunch of times. It's like, cool, yes, that does help. I guess if you're blocking someone or trying to get extension. But someone tweeted, and a strength coach I follow tweeted, if your kids want to do bicep curls, right? Why not just program 1 day of like bicep curls into the program? Like if that's going to be something that gets them in the weight room, why not do it? And it was like, wow, that makes a ton of sense. Like, yeah, I understand, like, curls or doing tricep extensions isn't really going to help us be a better football player. But if it's going to get people into the weight room, why not do that? Right? Why not do that? Why not do things that make kids want to come? And that's kind of been our focus here. Like, let's get kids in here and make it work. So how we make this work is we get a 90-minute time slot for lifting. So we get two groups, okay? So the first group does a 40-minute lift, and the second group does a 40-minute skills development period. So footwork, catching, blocking, fundamentals. And you might be, well, coach, well, we don't really have the space to do that, okay? Guess what we did? We bought a rug that we rolled out onto our locker room floor, and we did this skills development group in our locker room, okay? Our track team, this is not a joke, our track team in the winter, because we don't have an indoor track facility, runs around the school, runs around the hallways in the school. So we do sprints through the school. Believe me, there is space to do things. Ask your administration if you could use your cafeteria. Ask them if you could use the lobby of the school to do ladder drills. You're not going to ruin anything, right? You're not going to ruin everything. But we literally bring from outside, we'll bring blocking shields, we'll bring pop-up dummies. On our offensive days, we'll usually go through ladder drills, cone drills, footwork, hand strike, hand placement, right? It's almost like getting a free 40-minute individual period with your team in the offseason, right? Once again, legal by Pennsylvania standards. Check your state's rules before you do anything like this. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Inside that period, right, sometimes we'll install things, sometimes we'll run position-specific drills. On defensive, we make everybody go through a tackle circuit, right? So we're hoping that our tackling improves based on this. But this has been unbelievably beneficial to us. And I actually think it's one of the reasons that we had such a big jump from 2020 to 2021 is that we were able to work with these kids for December, January, February, March, 4 months in the off season where we had them 3 days a week for 90 minutes a day, right? 90 minutes a day. Now we usually use that extra 5 minutes as like a transfer time. Now your training program, once again, should be modern. Go learn from the best. The doors are open, right? We use a percentage-based training model, right? So we'll get every student's 3-rep max, convert that to a percentage, right? And we'll tell what weight on the main list that these kids should be starting on, right? Because if you give the kid the option, he's either going to go way too low or way too high, right? So we're percentage-based, and that helps us also instill a form-first mentality. Right? Form first mentality. During this 4-month period, we're going to have 2 max periods after 8 weeks, and we're going to get a 3-rep max on our main list, squat, bench, and deadlift. Squat, bench, and deadlift. We would actually prefer that to be 4 main lifts, squat, bench, deadlift, and clean. However, we're a progression-based teaching organization, so we spend most of our time during this period actually instructing the basics of the power clean. So it's power shrug into a power pull, finally into the hang clean, and then into the full power clean. So possibly by the time we get to July, we might be actually getting towards maxing the clean as well. Okay,